New this week, Batman City of Madness issue number 2, art and script by Christian Ward. City of Madness is a creative dream, with sensual, emotionally charged pages that depict a Batman story unlike anything you've ever seen before. The simple explanation and jumping in point for the story is Batman meets H.P. Lovecraft, but honestly I feel like that doesn't do the story justice, so let me delve deeper. This is clearly a passion project from Christian Ward. I mean, this whole thing literally began as a Twitter thread. And I know what you're thinking. How come DC hasn't adapted any of my shitty tweets into a DC Black Label series? The script is so intelligent, weaving in classic characters from the Batman Rogues Gallery in innovative, though harrowing ways. Also, I should point out there's been a lot of Court of Owls resurgence across a lot of DC titles recently, but this feels like the most earned iteration. This is the kind of series that not only proves the value of DC Black Label, but also the magazine-sized format, being able to live inside the world of this unique, genre-bending story of a beloved character. Alright, now let's get into the story with some spoilers. What if I told you there was a Batman below? While there's a lot of Batman stories on the shelves right now that delve more into the territory of epic action-adventure, it's always nice to see the character in this classic noir detective setting, which is precisely where Batman City of Madness begins. I gotta say, I really loved getting a behind-the-scenes look into the inner workings and hierarchy of the Court of Owls in the first issue. These literal backstabbing elite that control the tide of the river of madness that runs through Gotham. I was also a big fan of Two-Face being our initiation into the bizarre awakenings in the city. I gotta say, I was not expecting to see Two-Face at all when the project was announced, but he totally fills the niche of this tortured Lovecraftian character who's seen the evil beyond comprehension. Issue number 2 has a couple more surprising character introductions as the Batman discovers the ventriloquist, indiscriminately butchering members of the Flamingo's exclusive club. Though the ventriloquist is able to overcome Scarface's influence by brutally smashing him, the Batman can't help but feel inept, uncertain of what could cause such an extreme shift in an enemy that he thought he understood. This leads the Batman to an even more disturbing choice, accepting the invitation of the Court of Owls. This whole comic is an absinthe-tinged delight with these living traces of color and energy that remind you of comic legends like Jack Kirby. The art is especially noteworthy in the recreation of Harvey Dent's transformation into Two-Face that we get in this issue, which could very easily have felt redundant or unnecessary, but instead feels iconic because Christian Ward's choice of color as an artist is unparalleled, providing bright, evocative intrigue to the page and the universe he's created, rather than miring in the typical horror color palettes of black, white, and red. Another highlight from this issue is, surprisingly, its humor. We finally get a scene with the Batman below in the later pages of this issue, who is Batman but with a mind flayer, tentacle-y face, and we see him meting out justice on the streets with his kidnapped Robin, which is still a disturbing scene, but the Batman Below's ideology is so blunt that you can't help but laugh in spite of yourself. I also really love the scenes with Alfred and Nightwing in this series so far, which are very earnest and help to emotionally ground the entire story, but not as an afterthought. This 2-page splash depicting Scarface being passed to the ventriloquist and the cape and cowl being passed to Robin is one of the most important Batman pages I've seen in a long time. Here's a glimpse of that tragically beautiful Two-Face transformation I mentioned, and our tentacly anti-hero. And honestly, this might be my favorite page, this eldritch horror Clayface. Are you kidding me? And if this doesn't sell you on the comic, then I don't know what will. The hand puppet is an inspired idea. Batman City of Madness is a rich, elevated Batman story that stays true to the heart of the character and subverts your expectations. I, for one, cannot wait to see more of Gotham Below in the final installment, and I will definitely be adding this thing to my collection when it releases. Support your local comic book store and read Batman City of Madness issues 1 and 2 out now. Let me know what you think about this title in the comments, and also let me know if there's any other Elseworlds Batman stories that you think are required reading.